Hello everyone, welcome to our weekly comment review reading segment on the channel. Today I will read last week's YouTube comments, a sampling of course. I pick whatever comments I want and I read them. Today will be a pretty lively one, I'll say, so grab a drink and a snack and let's get started. If you want to be in these videos, just leave a comment. Maybe you get in. Start here with Johnny Stevens 259. Just sell the Venus Mons. She's getting a new alt art anyway. This is technically really good advice because Venus Mon will go down in price, obviously, which as I've said, but this is one reason why. That alt art Venus Mon is pretty cool. Whatever ends up being max rarity at the time will be up to the player base, I guess, but it is a true fact that Venus Mon is getting reprinted. So good. Von Wafer bought a whole Galactamon core, one altar included as well as the Destro promos and everything beneath for right around $55. Time to see if I get burned if they release an entirely new Galactic. I'm sure we're getting more Galactic support. I'm sure there'll be a new Galactamon. Like, I can't see Bandai just only having the one Galactamon forever. You know what I mean? I think that's very unlikely. But there's no reason why I won't be able to use the old Galactamon either. So maybe just some food for thought or something. I don't know. Good thoughts, though. And Walker says, we already know there's more Galactamon support BT18. Also, the Leomon X advice is bad unless you plan on playing it now. There already a much better Leomon X coming out of box topper BT17. This one is obsolete at that point. And we got the Silent Magician, the leader of the Mario hating squad. Wow, you really told him. So this is really interesting. It's true we are getting that new Leomon card, and that new Leomon card is really good. However, what I've been told by people who know the future metagame better than I do, you can still play that Leomon X, which is why I covered it. Now, I have a playset. I think I spent $4 on the playset. If it doubles, it's profit, it's fine, not a big deal. But if nothing happens, I lose $4. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's kind of just safe. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put my life savings in the Leomon X. I think that would be foolish. That would be bad. But I like that this person is actually, commenting something useful. It's good. I like it. I like the thoughts. I do like where this guy's coming from. Next. Now we get into the comments about is the Digimon TCG boring or is it just me video? And let me tell you, I had the entire spectrum. I had people that said, yeah, you were right, but I actually had a lot of more people say, nah, it's just you. You're just getting burned out or whatever. So I'm going to attempt to cover some YouTube member comments, another comment, and we'll just go from there. So Lost File says, I believe the main reason you guys feel that way is because you've been testing BT16 at least a month before release. Makes you basically be ready for everything before competitive play even starts and doesn't really leave room for surprises. This is something that might get fixed on its own once we get in a global release next year. That's a very interesting comment, and I agree with it to a certain point. One of the reasons, though, we test ahead is to be ready for the format, right? It gives us a fighting edge if we want to play in any major tournaments, which I don't really want to do, so it's kind of a moot point at this point in time. But that's the whole reason why, right? But honestly, really good point. Maybe if I cooled off a little bit, it would be okay. We have here Professor Wallace. I don't think Digimon is boring. I still enjoy the game, especially excited for future sets. I guess the only time I get bored is playing its security control. That's only because when I see the deck, I want to take a nap. Nothing like some SecCon hate in the comment section. I think every week I see comments about SecCon just being abysmal and hated, and I don't blame them. But yeah, decks like security control don't really help me. You know what I mean? Like they're just there, right? And Static Fox, eclipsing the masses here, you're just describing burnout, and that applies to all TCGs. I would argue that burnout applies to everything. So, I actually want to talk about this for a second. About 8 months ago, I was burned out from Digimon. It felt different. Let me explain. I was just feeling tired of Digimon. I was just tired. I really wasn't playing that much. I really didn't feel like playing that much. I was just like toast. I was like, I just don't want to touch my Digimon cards. I don't want to do it. I just don't feel like doing it. That's different than how I feel today. Today is completely different because it's not so much that I'm burned out. It's more the fact that I'm bored, not challenged. So I just want to address that because a lot of people think it's burnout, and maybe to some small extent it is. I won't deny that maybe there's some burnout in there, but like it's not really a burnout thing. It is a Mario is bored thing. This doesn't give me the challenge that I'm looking for or the excitement that it used to give me. That's all. Anyway, there were a lot of comments on this video. I can't go through them all. 100 plus of them. But I think the point is made here, and that's okay. Coffee gang, rise up. I just wanted to throw a Dunkin' Donut comment in there because there's Dunkin' Donuts there. Coffee's great. Coffee's good. Virtua Victrola, but it is Biomon. Possibly halfway between the P-O of the original for bird sound and just B at the beginning for bird, because English-speaking kids aren't smart. Oh, well, thanks localization. I don't know. At this point, I don't pay attention to the right way or wrong way to say things. Sometimes I just know. Sometimes I don't really care. That's okay. That's fine. I own it. It's okay. Orek the Asian said, I just watched your latest video at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. YouTube session. That's pretty dedicated. I like that. Watch my videos whenever you want. It's a great thing. Mox Moonstone. This guy had a bunch of banger comments this week, I have to say. He's a YouTube member, so I thought I'd read one of them. To be fair, it's one issue of a webcomic. It's like the first 5 minutes of an anime. It takes a minute for things to warm up, but it looks good, I think. My Liberator, my last week's comment video was talking a lot about Liberator. And, you know, I still haven't warmed up to the idea. I really haven't. I'm still pretty cold and pretty flaccid about it. But, oh, that's not the comment I wanted. We'll get to that in a second. Jumpy Sniper says, not only was Chapter 0 a preview, it was longer than the actual release. Also, the first 2 episodes had to take time to teach new readers what's going on. So they're not going to be all that interesting as someone who already knows 90% of that. I'll take a little bit for it to actually get interesting. Some of the impression that the comic will be a segue into an online client and will be more likely, if it does well and it'll be received well, maybe it gets animated later. Wouldn't be the first time something from Webtoon on an anime. This is a very optimistic, glass half full approach to Liberator. Hopefully stuff comes from riding the coattails of Liberator's success. I don't hate comments like this. It is very cool to think that maybe this is what's planned. It's nice to think about. I doubt it. I won't believe an online client is coming until Bandai says an online client is coming, which could be a year, or literally Bandai could be never. We have no idea, really. We don't know. This is the comment. This is the one. All right, Mr. Marshall Lee here. For record, I don't usually take comments this long because it takes time. And the time it takes is my time. It's also your time. I don't think people, I'm not sure, get super interested by reading very long blocks of text like this. However, I just want to prove a point. So I'm going to read this comment. No offense, but you kind of only respond to the most softball comments from the Liberator video. Well, first of all, this is Mario's gaming world. It's not Marshall Lee's gaming world. I don't even have to make a comment review video. Like, I think I'm the only person in the Bandai space that makes a video like this. If I'm wrong, correct me. But, like, this video is just extra. I do it because I want to do it. I'm under no obligation to pick certain comments. I pick whatever I want. Sometimes we throw some hate in there like we are doing today, and that's okay. Many people, like myself included, responded with comments going more in depth about why it didn't need an anime, while Bandai is hyping something they think fans will enjoy too is justifiable, and that those foolish enough to think we had a client have themselves to blame, etc. Proud you could admit the webcomic isn't for you, but then again you had to couch that negativity again by saying it's like watching paint dry, or it's like watching Marvel movies where you want to stick a knife in your eyeball. I'm going to take a break and respond to this whole part. I'm a very negative person. I was talking about how optimism is nice. I'm a pessimistic person, but I go past that. I'm a glass half empty kind of person where someone knocked over my glass and there's shards of glass on the floor. That's me. That's just who I am. I will always couch things in negativity because that's the person I am. I am a negative Nancy. I am a Debbie Downer. If you don't like that, I got nothing for you. It's just the way it is. All right. You say you're not going to take a dump in your cornflakes, but then drop your pants and do that. You say you're just one person on the internet whose opinion doesn't matter that much, but in the next breath will glaze yourself and your position in the Dwelling community like crazy. I don't know, man. I'm trying to not die on a silly hill, but it's always starting to pile up. I don't know what he means by this last part. However, my Liberator video, in essence, was just going through my thoughts, which is this whole channel, by the way. My thoughts. Literal thoughts that come out of my brain through my mouth into a microphone and then end up on YouTube. That's literally what this is, right? And you know what? I did not take a dump in your cornflakes, okay? I did not dump in anyone's cornflakes or in their Cocoa Puffs or in their insert cereal here. I had to write some things down for this video because I had really nothing good to say about it. And being a negativity echo chamber like that isn't like destructive for anything. So I actually dialed it back a lot. So I'm never going to release the thoughts in my brain, the true thoughts, because it doesn't help anyone. It literally doesn't. That's why I'm just saying they're there, but there are some things you gotta keep to yourself because they don't help anyone. So finally, one final part I'm gonna go on. My position in the Digimon community, like crazy, is nothing. I've mentioned this before. I will mention it again. Yes, I am one of the bigger people in the Digimon space. Deal with it if you don't like that. However, in the whole entire thing, this Digimon is a micro niche of Bandai TCGs, which is a micro niche of TCGs, which is a niche of Gs, Gs being games, which is a niche of the bigger things in the world, and nothing is permanent. I've been through this before. Nothing matters. If I fall off the face of the earth, nothing matters. If I stop making Digimon content one day, I don't matter. It's not like there will be a giant gaping chasm in the Digimon community. You know what I mean? So yes, while I do have a position in the community, it's all fluff. It is fluff. I'll brag about it sometimes, sure, but like, who cares? Who actually cares? Just some people that like my content. They're the ones who care. Or people that love hating on my content. I guess they care to a certain extent too, which is weird, but we allow it. And yeah, so again, I got really derailed, which is why I don't take long comments like this usually, but I wanted to prove to this guy that, you know, I will occasionally take the odd not softball comment and go with it. What's really important is at the end of the day, you know, up is up, down is down, the sun is going to rise, and I'm pretty much right about everything I say. 99% of the time. And that's okay. That's just the world we live in, I guess. I don't know. IDBW, aka Eddie. Heads up for people on the Merciful alt art is being bought out. It is. It is true. Merciful mode is being quite targeted. That's good. Card's good, for sure. Spartan was here, says the drunken Spartan. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Banal Evil. Imagine how much more hype Galactamon would be if Liberator were an anime instead of a webcomic. And we got Giovanni here, baby steps. You know, I agree with this comment. Wouldn't it be so freaking cool instead of Galactamon on a piece of paper, on a computer screen, it would be animated. Like, I don't know. Charles Latapi. My yellow player since Starter Deck 03. I wouldn't have it any other way. Good. I did like my why yellow is the best color video, but there were some interesting opinions in the comment section besides yellow is good. For example, Dorgormon here says purple is obviously the best color simply because of the ban list. The ban list also figured out just how broken recursion from trash and concert with card draw can be, both of which purple excels at. Blue is great getting advantage, but purple can do ridiculous things like the Minerva Loop combo that blows it out of the water. This guy commented and basically said, yeah, Bandai is not clairvoyant. And people are complaining about the ban list and purple and all that. It's whatever. Purple is a good color, though. Very flexible, very Yu-Gi-Oh!, very combo. Rewards the smarter players. It's pretty nice. And lastly, Brady Hargett official, not talking about color. This guy is not seeing color at all, which is honestly the right way to live in today's world. I personally prefer when games are more tribal archetype focused. I definitely prefer Yu-Gi-Oh! That way. I'll stay aside from that I lean towards purple decks for playstyle. I like playing with different trash effects like Beel's Levy or Demon Lords, but I also approach building a deck because it's a Digimon I like. Then if I also like the playstyle, I'll build it. Then there's likely decks I'd probably enjoy but haven't tried because I don't care for the line. It reminds me of what Karen said at one point about strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That's only the selfish conception of people. Anyway, the whole point is that people will play with their favorites, which is good. I like that. That'll do for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!